Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Unreal Engine 5 Virtua Cop game tutorial series. In this tutorial, we are going to kill enemies by that line trace which we created in the last tutorial. Now, when that line trace hits the enemy, he will be killed. And if we kill the second enemy, or you can say if we kill the total number of enemies linked to that trigger box, then we will be able to move forward towards the next stop point or trigger box like it actually happened in the virtual cop game. So let me show you. So we killed the first and now we killed the last one. Now we move forward. Now here we have 3 enemies here. Now kill the second, and if you kill the last one, now we will be able to move forward towards the next point. Now if we kill him, now we will move towards the end. So this is what we are going to achieve in this tutorial. You can get the project files on my Patreon. Let's jump into the tutorial. So in the previous tutorial, we made the line trace to start from the center of the crosshair and to move forward as you are seeing, and in the forward direction, and to hit anything in front of it. So in this tutorial, we are going to kill enemies with that line trace and register that kill event inside that enemy AI handler. And if all the enemies linked to that trigger box are killed, then we will be able to move forward. And again, the new enemies will spawn here. And if all the enemies linked to that trigger box are killed by us on mouse click, then this enemy handler will be responsible to resume our movement on the spline further towards the next uh, trigger box, and so on. So first of all, if we go inside our enemy AI, if you remember from one of our previous tutorial that we made the enemy AI to kill themselves automatically and register that event in the BP handler, which is located here, BP handler. So in this tutorial, actually we like where it is. So we don't need that. Let me show you again. If you notice, we are not killing anybody. The enemies spawn and they are killing themselves automatically after some time. When all the enemies linked to that trigger box killed, we start to move forward. So in this, so that was happening because of that nodes. So in this tutorial, we don't need that. We are deleting it, and also we don't need that. Definitely we need that, but first of all, so again, in the previous tutorial in the series, we did the working on the line trace. So if you haven't watched that tutorial, please watch that tutorial first. So in this tutorial, we are going to work further. So I would hit, so when we press left mouse button, the line trace starts from the position of the crosshair and moves further, and we keep the value at some value after the calculation at the end. So now we are going to detect that if it hits if the line trace hits the enemy, we will register that event. Break and hit actor. So first of all, let's okay branch. So if it actually hits something, then we will able to do the rest of the logic. So hit actor, it should be BP enemy AI. Cause to BP enemy AI. So if it actually hits the enemy AI, then we will call that event. Okay. uh, so actually we have to create a new event here, event death. Okay, or we can say it event death enemy AI. And from there we need to let me delete it. We need to call death event from inside the BP handler enemies AI, which is that actor. So don't be confused. We are simply uh, making a line trace on the left mouse click, and when it hits the enemy AI, we will call uh, that event, and from that event, we will call that enemy AI dead event, which subtracts 1 from the total enemies, and if the total enemies linked to the first trigger box reaches 0, then it will uh, resume the tracking of the spline, and we will start to move forward on the spline. So that is the whole picture. So now we inside the BP connector we are going to call event death enemy, which is this one. And now we will cause to okay BP handler enemy AI class. Okay, PP handler enemies get actor of class, and from there we are going to call that enemy AI dead event, enemy AI dead event. So now whenever our line trace hits the character, um, it will call the that event inside the enemy AI, which tells the enemy that you are dead. Now we will call event enemy AI dead from the BP handler, which will do the rest of the logic. So let's test it. Okay, so actually it is not working. Actually the line trace is not hitting the enemies. And why is that so? Because I think we haven't set the collision uh, perfectly, and that is because our visibility is set to ignore. So we need to make it custom and make it block. Now let's see. Yes, so now it is working. So now it is working, but our enemies didn't disappear when we hit them. So to do that, go back to BP enemy AI, and right after that, okay, destroy actor. Okay, yes, and now perfect. And now again, 2 enemies are spawned, and 3 enemies are spawned. Perfect. And now that, so now everything is working perfectly. So now the line trace is working fine. It is starting from the center of the crosshair and it's moving forward. And when we uh, hit the line trace or uh, press a left mouse button, if the line trace hits the enemy, it will kill the enemy. And if we kill the last enemy linked to that trigger box, it will start to move forward towards the next trigger box. And in the same way, um, so everything is working fine. So in the next tutorial we are going to make a counter which will show us here that how many enemies we have actually killed, and we can also expand it to uh, add total scores here, and we will do some widget or HUD thing in the next tutorial. So thank you for watching, and you can get project files on my Patreon. till next tutorial. Allah Hafiz.